like C is somewhere here, like this. Check karo please. Temperature is constant, volume is decreasing, pressure is increasing. तो C यहाँ पे कहीं पे ऊपर है हवा में. Now you will agree with me. C to D, volume is constant, temperature is decreasing. That means pressure is also decreasing, and it is an isocore. So I will get a vertical line. Temperature constant graphs, isothermal graphs on a PV line is like this, isn't it? Boyle's law. Now is it clear why B2C is curved, why not straight? So that was, this is point D. Now D2A is again isothermal. Volume is now increasing. सर दिमाग क्यों लगाते हो? D2A isothermal है ना, हाइपरबोला बना दो चुपचाप. Once you have identified what path D2A is, we don't need to worry whether it is increasing or decreasing. We just need to connect them. No, symmetrical, no, Janvi. Don't do all that shortcut. Analyze them path by path. Is it understood? I'll quickly recap. I started from point A. Point A to B is isochoric, meaning it will go straight line. Volume is constant, temperature is increasing. That means pressure will increase. So it will be a vertical straight line going up. Then I realize I have reached point B. B2C is isothermal. C has a lower volume. Lower volume means higher pressure. So the isotherm will have to go up like that. And then C to D is isochoric again. Temperature is decreasing, so pressure is also decreasing. So I come vertically down. I mark anywhere point D. Does not matter that A B का length has to be same as CD का length. पेपर में स्केल लेके कोई मेजर नहीं करा रहा है, ऑब्जेक्टिव एग्जाम है. And then D2A, I understand that D2A is an isothermal graph hyperbola in nature. So I simply connect them with a hyperbolic graph. Please attempt the next one. I will give you 2 minutes for the same. Your time starts now. You can start from any point, not necessary A. Yes, Anubhav, I agree with you. I understood your bhavna and I agree with you. We'll wait for others to answer. Rest, please don't answer on the chat window now, okay? Yeah, that's okay. You can give answer on the poll if you're done. 67 online, 40 are done. I'll wait for a couple of more people to be done. Cool, almost 50 done. Let's start. A to B is now isobaric. B to C same isothermal. C to D is isobaric, and D to A is isothermal. Correct. Let me choose a point randomly A now here in between somewhere so that I don't have to move my graph. A to B is isobaric. That means it will be a horizontal line, isn't it? It will be a horizontal line. Yes. Temperature is increasing, so volume will also increase. So I'll get something like this. Now B2C is isothermal. Temperature is constant. Yes. Pressure is decreasing. Pressure is decreasing, matlab volume will increase. So it will be something like this. Now C to D is isobaric. Pressure is constant, matlab horizontal line. Temperature decreases, so volume decreases. And then D to A is isothermal again. So I simply connected by an isothermal graph. Is it understood? Let's try one last example, then we'll move ahead. This is the one that is correct. If your A and B's are interchanged, you are wrong. If your arrow movement is interchanged, you are wrong. If your A and D, B and C get interchanged, you are wrong. This is the only answer, no other answer. Solve, please. Once you're done, give the answer on poll. 10 more seconds. Time up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and stop. सर B2C क्या है ये नहीं समझ में आया. Isn't it? We covered this in previous class. Is it now understood? VT graph pe, if you have a straight line passing through the origin, it implies the slope will be nr by p, and therefore it is a pressure constant graph, meaning an isobar. So C2B is an isobar pressure constant graph. Temperature is increasing, so volume will also increase, right? And isobar would mean a horizontal line. Now B2A is volume constant, temperature decreasing, so pressure will also decrease. A to C, A to C is isothermal. That means connect A and C by a hyperbola. If your answer matched this one, thumbs up, please. If your answer matched this one, thumbs up, otherwise, thumbs down. I'll understand ना then कि क्या हुआ क्या नहीं. Okay. I hope you have understood it now. Anything that is anything that is apart from my answer is a wrong answer. Anything apart from my answer is a wrong answer. Why? Sir, I got mirror image. Why is it wrong? Arey, it is wrong na baba. Because C2B pressure was supposed to increase. So if you write like this C2B, then B2A becomes isothermal. So therefore it is wrong. Sir, wait, I did not change B and C. I wrote this as C, this as B, this as A. Now why is it wrong? Because your process came counter cyclic. My was clockwise, your came anti-clockwise. Got it? Awesome job. So what are we going to do today? We are going to cover some more basics today. Uh, I'll be covering them on slides partly, and partly will be covering them on क्या बोलते हैं handwritten media. So let's start. Do you guys remember this? If you do, you definitely remember this. Let's change the color. Now I don't like red color. Wait. Thermodynamics is numeric. Exam mate is numerical based. Classmate is theory based. Problem solving, majority of it you have to do from Tattva. Exam is both. Now, yesterday class homework questions. Did you guys attempt homework questions yesterday class? Any doubt in those questions? Nobody asked any doubt. Nobody asked any doubt. हाँ आदित्य asked once, but nobody other. I was waiting कि बहुत सारे doubt आएंगे. I will paste in the slide. Nobody told me also any slide number so that I can paste. ऐसा क्यों किया? When I'm telling you सामने से, just give me the slide numbers before the lecture. I will paste it in the slide. We'll discuss. तो जिनके doubts थे, they should have given, isn't it? Despite having the solutions with you, I'm ready to invest time. तो one way तो नहीं चलेगा ना. Learning is a two-way technique. So we studied this also therefore in the previous class. Delta H equal to delta U plus delta of PV. Correct. Then we said using ideal gas equation, we can write it like this. Now, when we talk about reactions, when we talk about reactions, suppose I have a reaction this. In general, whenever we perform a reaction in a calorimeter. That means we keep the temperature constant. A calorimeter is a device which helps you keep the temperature of the reaction mixture constant. In detail physics वाले पढ़ाएंगे. We will also talk about a calorimeter, but in a moment's time. Now, T equal to constant is a general condition which we always assume in reactions pertaining to thermodynamics chapter or reactions pertaining to 11-12 standard study in general. So, can I say that if I have to write this delta H delta U equation on this reaction, R and T will come out of the delta. If I have to write the same equation for this reaction now, reactions के लिए by default temperature is constant, R is anyways constant. So R and T can safely come out of the delta. Number of moles, is it constant or is it changing? Number of moles, is it constant or is it changing? Equilibrium sign हटा देता हूं if that is confusing you. Suppose it is this now. According to me, it is changing. At T equal to 0, I will have this and this. And after reaction has finished, I will have this and this. So number of moles are changing from A to B, isn't it? Now, pay attention one thing. Pay attention to my point now that I'm trying to make, that this can be written as this RT into delta N. Now I'm writing a subscript G here. Why am I writing a subscript G? Because PV got converted into nRT only when you are applying this equation for ideal gases, isn't it? PV gets converted into nRT only when you are applying this equation on ideal gas systems. And hence change in number of moles should be considered of what? Should be considered of gas only. So for reactions, your equation becomes this. Ki how to relate delta H and delta U for reactions. Is this much understood? What is delta Ng in this case? Delta Ng in this case would be B minus A. Another example, suppose I have calcium carbonate solid going to calcium oxide solid and CO2 gas. Can somebody tell me what is the delta Ng in this case? What is the delta Ng in this case? Stoichiometry coefficient of gases in the product minus stoichiometric coefficient of gases in the reactant. That means 1 minus 0 equal to 1. Please, 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 delta Ng निकालने में mistake मत करना. Don't end up considering liquid, aqueous, solid. No, delta Ng will involve only gases. Absolutely correct. Not mod, not mod. It is product gas moles minus reactant gas moles. So B minus A, not mod. Delta Ng can be positive, negative, or zero. Now, what would be the unit of R in this equation? Almost every day on Telegram, you guys keep discussing कि R का वैल्यू क्या चल रहा है आज मार्केट में. तो R का वैल्यू डिपेंड करने वाला है. R का वैल्यू डिपेंड करने वाला है किससे यूज किया जा रहा है. विथ whom are you using it with? Do you agree that delta U and delta H are energy systems? Exactly, Priyanshu. Delta H and delta U are energies. So if they get expressed in joules, R का value would be 8.314. Correct. If they get expressed in calorie, then R का value will be 2. If galti se in any question delta U or delta H gets expressed in liter atmosphere, only then R will be 0.0821. But ये गलती जल्दी से होगी नहीं. It would be rare. Is R का रेट आज के मार्केट में क्लियर? Awesome. Good job. Now, let me tell you about one more magic. हाँ, हमेशा यही रहेगा. हमेशा यही रहेगा. This was first law of thermodynamics, isn't it? At constant volume, or if you have constant volume process, can I say work done is zero? Yes, you can. Implies delta U equal to Q? Yes, you can. I'm writing it as QV, indicating heat exchanged in a constant volume process is equal to delta U. Heat exchanged in a constant volume process is equal to delta U. It is a very, very important point to be noted because they use it in questions directly. They will tell you heat exchanged in a constant volume process is 200 kilojoule. That means they are actually trying to tell you internal energy change in the process is 200 kilojoules. Is the point understood? Stop on the chat window. Stop it instantly. Can we apply delta H equation for all reactions? All chemical reactions, yes. In our syllabus, you will not have any reaction where the answer would be that the equation cannot be applied. At max क्या होगा? At max क्या होगा? There is no gas in the reaction, so delta H will be equal to delta U, isn't it? Now, constant pressure process means what? What happens at constant pressure? Let's see what happens to my first law equation at constant pressure. If a pressure, sorry, if a pressure is a constant pressure process, can I write it as like this directly? Heat exchanged ko I'm calling QP. Heat exchanged at constant pressure process. Now, do you see delta H? सर ये कहाँ से आ गया सडनली? ये आया यहाँ से. If P is constant, P comes out of the delta, and delta U plus P delta V becomes delta H. Is this understood? Hold on a second, please. I'm trying to get a photo of a calorimeter for you. I want a simplified diagram. I don't want unnecessary too complicated. Cool, got it. Now, before telling you any detail about a bomb calorimeter or what it is, I am showing you a simple diagram. I am showing you a simple diagram. One second, Janvi, I'll come back to you. I'm showing you a simple diagram and I'm telling you this is a bomb calorimeter. I am telling you there is a reaction happening inside. That means some heat will be related to the reaction. You have to tell me, is that heat, is that heat QP or QV? Diagram is in front of you. There is a reaction happening inside. So there will be some heat associated when the reaction is happening. So is that heat QP or QV? Fast, please. QV, constant volume calorimeter, isn't it? Why constant volume calorimeter? Sir, दिख रहा है ना बाबा? There is a vessel. It is not a balloon. It is not a piston cylinder arrangement जिसका volume increases. It's a rigid closed vessel. So volume remains constant, but pressure increases a lot. And that is why it is called a bomb calorimeter. Bomb cube meaning is name में because the pressure in this vessel can increase a lot. Obviously not beyond a point where it will explode. Sir, but if pressure keeps increasing, it should explode. So designer stupid nahi hai na, the person who designs it and sells it. He has pressure relief valves in it. He has safety valves in it so that it does not explode. Now, what do you mean by a calorimeter? See, a calorimeter is a device to measure The heat liberated or absorbed in a reaction. I repeat, calorimeter is a device which is used to measure the heat liberated or absorbed in a reaction. How is it used? How is it used? Can I take this on the next slide? I'll need more space to write. यहाँ पे is this much, Janvi, I'm answering your doubt in just a second. यहाँ पे इतना clear हो गया ना कि bomb calorimeter means constant volume system. So if a question says heat liberated during a reaction in a bomb calorimeter is 200 kilojoules, is he giving you delta H or delta U? He is giving you delta U. So be careful, okay? Be careful. Now, Janvi, this last step is not clear to you. Delta H can be written as delta U plus delta of PV, right? If pressure is constant, if pressure is constant, P comes out of the delta. So I substituted this ka value on the left hand side. So heat liberated during a constant pressure process is basically enthalpy change of the process. Heat liberated during a constant volume process is basically equal to internal energy change of the process. Now, uh, what is happening in this bomb calorimeter? मैं करना क्या चाह रहा हूं? मैं करना ये चाह रहा हूं. The reaction happens inside the vessel. The vessel loses heat to the water around it, which is continuously stirred. Based on the temperature rise or drop of the water around the vessel, I can find out how much heat was lost to the water. I repeat, I repeat, suppose reaction generates some heat, it is exothermic. That heat will get lost to the water around it because you are taking large quantity of water and very small vessel. Generally the vessel will be of size of 5 ml, 10 ml, and the water around it will be in few liters. So ऐसा नहीं होगा कि सर इतना सारा हीट लिबरेट हो गया, पानी इवेपोरेट हो गया, तो it will not happen. So the reaction loses heat to the water around it. The water is continuously stirred, so the temperature of the water remains same everywhere. And then thermometer will show you a rise in temperature of water. Based on certain facts, you will be able to relate the temperature rise of water with the heat that water received. Now, how do we calculate that, or what is the relationship between heat transferred and temperature rise of any material? The relationship between heat transferred and temperature rise of any material is this. Is there anybody who has not seen this equation in your ninth or 10th? Physics, chemistry, whichever subject. Oh, loads of people who have not seen. Cool, no problem. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. So let's forget this equation for the time being. यार आई रिमेम्बर माई टाइम महाराष्ट्र बोर्ड यूज टू हैव दिस इन 10th. चलो कोई बात नहीं. वी डिफाइन हीट कैपेसिटी, तो नाम सुना है? नहीं. हाँ, द वन दैट आई टोल्ड यू. द वन दैट आई टोल्ड यू. द वन दैट आई टोल्ड यू ड्यूरिंग एक्सटेंसिव इंटेंसिव. कूल. Suppose right now I am denoting heat capacity by a symbol C, capital C. Capital C is defined as capital C is defined as the amount of heat that will be required to raise the temperature of a given substance of 1 gram of substance by, या 1 kg बोल देते हैं, of 1 kg substance by a fixed temperature. I repeat, I repeat, heat capacity of a given substance is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of the body by a particular value. How much amount of body did you take? You took 1 kg of the body. I'll explain this in a much better way. Suppose I have 1 kg of water. I want to increase the temperature of water by 1 degree Celsius. I have 1 kg water and I want to increase the temperature of water by 1 degree Celsius. So heat capacity will be equal to heat absorbed by 1 kg of water when its temperature raised by 1 degree Celsius. Is this point now understood? What do we mean by heat capacity? So can I say that heat capacity is an indicative of how much heat can be stored by a body. जितना ज्यादा हीट स्टोर करेगा उतना कम टेम्परेचर राइज होगा ना. जितना ज्यादा हीट स्टोर कर लेगा उतना टेम्परेचर राइज कम आएगा. प्लीज चेक. डेल्टा टी कम्स आउट टू बी क्यू बाई सी. Understood? So now when I get rid of this 1 kg value, now when I get rid of this 1 kg, I will get the formula as this. Now this can also be written as like this: mcdt. Is it clear? I'll repeat pura, no issues. C is defined as heat capacity. C is defined as heat capacity, which is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a body, of a 1 kg body, by delta T value. If I say that delta T is 1 degree Celsius, so C becomes equal to Q. So heat capacity is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a 1 kg body by 1 degree Celsius. If I get rid of this 1 kg value, if I get rid of this 1 kg notion, then I will get it as M. I will multiply it by mass basically, right? So C here is called heat capacity. Now, specific heat capacity भी कुछ होता है, which we represented by S. We have something called specific heat capacity, which we represent by S. Specific heat capacity means M is fixed as 1 kg. So specific heat capacity means heat capacity for a 1 kg substance. Is this understood? Now, I made a small error. Let me correct that error. I'm really sorry for that error. It should not have happened. But considering you have understood, if I'm changing also, it will make sense to you now. हाँ, exactly. अरे what is mkg? क्या 1 kg के बदले I converted into mkg? So heat capacity is actually defined as the heat required to raise the weight of mk to raise the temperature of given mass of a substance by delta T. Specific heat, so therefore you will just get Q equal to C delta T, right? Is it now making sense? Specific heat capacity would be heat capacity of 1 kg substance only. So I multiply specific heat capacity by mass to get total heat capacity. Is this much understood? दिवाकर, I refuse to answer that question कि state function क्या होता है. Sir, in last step, C equal to specific heat capacity into mass, S into M. Divakar, please direct your question to Shiba ma'am. I'm sure she'll be able to help you. Yeah, yeah. So hence I'm saying divert that question to Shiba ma'am. I'm sure she'll be able to help you. Yes, last step is unitary method. सर बट इस ज्ञान से हमारी प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे सॉल्व हुई? हुई ना हमारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. Q was, or rather, because this is a constant volume system, I can write it like this, that this much heat would have been liberated by the reaction. ये heat किसको मिला guys? ये heat किसको मिला in this calorimeter? Water को. So I will write it as m of H2O into C of H2O, sorry, into S of H2O into the delta T of H2O, right? Now, my question to you is, what about the heat lost? What about the heat lost to the stirrer? What about the heat lost to this inside copper vessel? What about the negligible heat lost to the thermometer? No, we don't neglect it. We don't neglect it. We don't neglect it. I give you the heat capacity of the calorimeter. I give you the heat capacity of the calorimeter, and delta T तो water का ही use कर सकते हैं ना, because the amount of temperature rise in water would have been the same amount of temperature rise everywhere. Is it understood? Heat liberated by the reaction is absorbed by water and also by the apparatus. It is an assumption here that the temperature rise of apparatus and temperature rise of water is identical. It is practically not identical, but with a slight error. Is it clear? Why delta T? Delta T is the temperature rise in water. If the system is losing heat to water around it, water ka temperature will increase, which will be noted by the thermometer. Yes, Ashish. Outside container is generally made of wood, old construction. Now I will make up of a thin layer of ceramic with vacuum so that no heat is lost. Now, what is point if we are getting error even after adding some correction? Srijan, it is a better value. Your answer is more accurate now. Accuracy बढ़ाना भी तो important होता है ना. Not just that कि सर 100% accurate हुआ तो ही करेगा, नहीं तो नहीं करेगा. In that way तो we should not give exams at all, isn't it? वैक्यूम में कम होता है, नहीं होता है, नहीं दक्ष, कम होता है कि सर एग्जाम में 100% आएगा तो ये एग्जाम देगा, अदरवाइज आई एम नॉट गिविंग द एग्जाम. So we are trying to make it as accurate as we can. And another answer would be, यार किसी क्वेश्चन में मिल जाएगा, I am sure that specific heat capacity of calorimeter is given to you in the question, and then your answer will not match. Then what will you do? Then you will use this formula. Why is the name bomb calorimeter? Because pressure keeps developing inside the vessel. If pressure keeps developing inside the vessel, there's a chance it can blast away. A pressurized container is essentially a bomb. Chalo, let's move ahead now. So I have covered delta H, delta U relationship with you. I have explained you that QV equal to delta H, delta U, and QP equal to delta H. I have also explained you what is a bomb calorimeter, and I have explained you how the heat of the reaction is calculated using a bomb calorimeter. To introduce this equation, we discussed what is heat capacity and we discussed what is specific heat capacity. Right? We will be talking about heat capacity again in a few moments. Hold on to your horses. Sure, I'll do that for you. Please don't mug them blindly. Try and understand the logic behind it. Thermo के questions, blind mugging से JEE mains will be 100% done, my guarantee. But then JEE Advanced will be very difficult if you have blindly mugged the formulae. And we are aiming for JEE Advanced. JEE मेंस तो हम मान के चल रहे हैं कि हमारा क्लियर हो चुका है, isn't it? Absolutely, that's the Josh. Use a calculator to solve, otherwise you'll not be able to give the answer. Start solving, please. Yes, temperature is always in Kelvin. Oh, this is 15 by 2, is it? Yeah, this is 15 by 2, sorry. अरे दिवाकर ने चैट पढ़ी भी कि नहीं? दिवाकर, scroll up, please. Okay. I'm really sorry I shouted at you. I shouldn't have. Divakar, peace out. I'm really sorry I shouldn't have. Thank you so much. Is this problem done? You can calculate this and you'll have your answer. यार ये क्वेश्चन मैं होमवर्क की तरह दे रहा हूँ because this is slightly complicated. Why is it complicated? That also I will tell you. Then you can solve it later. Last question का answer is this. If you got anything else, you messed up the value for R or you messed up a sign here. सही किया था ना? हाँ. Why R is 2? Because it is in calories. कितनी बार बताना पड़ेगा ये चीज? अरे सेम ही तो लिखा है, आई रोट द सेम थिंग. यू आर सेइंग आंसर इज कमिंग डिफरेंट. Yeah, it will be 86 in the end. Not 90, it will be 86. Now, okay? Chalo. Ethyl chloride is prepared by reaction of ethylene with hydrogen chloride. So this is ethyl chloride. 1 mole reacts with 1 mole to give 1 mole. Balanced reaction hai. Delta H is given to you. What is the value of delta U in kilojoule? Okay. If 70 gram of ethylene and 73 gram of HCl are allowed to react at 300 Kelvin. First of all, what do we mean by 73 gram HCl? कितना आएगा weight? I think this is what, 36.5. So this is 2 moles, right? And ethylene is coming out to be how much? Uh, this is 28, 32. You 32 से 24 plus 4, so 5 moles ना then. नहीं, क्या कर रहा हूँ, 2.5 moles. So do you agree this is a problem of limiting reagent? Sir, but why are we talking about limiting reagent? Why are we not directly using delta H equal to delta U plus delta NgRT? Why can't I directly use that? You can directly use that. You will directly use that. But that will give you delta U. Sorry, वो V जैसा लग रहा है. I'm changing it. You will get delta U, but you will get it in terms of kilojoule per mole, because delta H was also in kilojoule per mole. And delta Ng का value क्या आएगा? Delta Ng would be 1 minus 2 from the reaction, isn't it? So now if I want to convert delta U X, which is kilojoule per mole, into overall kilojoule, then I will have to multiply it with 2. Why will I multiply it with 2? Because 2 moles of reaction is taking place, isn't it? Now I'm clearing one thing which probably we have discussed earlier also, I think in mole concept, not pretty sure. What do we mean by when, suppose, नए पेज पे ले लेते हैं, यहाँ पे कचरा करने का पॉइंट नहीं है. I have this reaction, AA plus BB gives CC plus DD. Now, when I say delta H equal to X kilojoule per mole, this per mole means what? One per mole of what? A, B, C, or D, or something else. This per mole of what? Your logic makes complete sense. Your logic makes complete sense, but that is not the case. This means per mole of the written reaction. This means per mole of the written reaction implies if A mole reacts with B mole to give C mole and D mole, then the heat associated is X. Is this point very, very, very clear? When we say X kilojoule per mole, we mean per mole of the written reaction. मतलब जैसा reaction लिखा हुआ है वैसे ही conduct होगा, तब X kilojoule energy उससे associated होगी. Now apply this in the next question. This means when I calculated delta U as X kilojoule per mole, it means 1 mole of ethene should react with 1 mole of HCl, isn't it? Per mole of the written reaction. How many moles are actually reacting? How many moles are actually reacting? 2 moles. So I multiplied X by 2. X with 2. Is it clear? So you have to be very careful in even this chindi questions. Delta H equal to delta U plus delta Ng RT वाले types भी कभी कभी बहुत painful हो सकते हैं life में. Yes, R is 8.314 because delta H is given in joules. Now, there is one more catch in this question. If you directly substitute the value of delta H given to you, pay attention to each and every word that I'm saying. You have to catch the mistake in my statement. I am claiming you will not get the answer of delta U correctly if you directly substitute the value of delta H as given. If you directly substitute delta Ng as -1, R as 8.314, and T as 300 Kelvin, you will not get correct value of delta U. Why? What was wrong in my statement? Substitute T as 300, R as 8.314. Absolutely correct, Srijan. Absolutely correct, Ashish. Because delta H was given in kilojoules and delta Ng RT तो जूल में आएगा ना. So delta H has to be converted to joules first, or delta NGRT has to be converted to kilojoule by dividing it with 1000. But कहीं ना कहीं तो करना पड़ेगा, either in delta H or in delta NGRT. Is this point very, very clear? These are small, small traps that you should be aware of while solving problems. Otherwise, you'll always be like, solve तो कर लिया, आंसर नहीं आ रहा है. ये पता नहीं रैंडमली उड़ता हुआ प्रॉब्लम कहाँ से आ गया फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स पे, बट चलो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. I'll give you full 2 minutes on the timer for this problem. Please wrong nahi karna, guys. Please be careful of units. Please be careful of sign convention. There is no hurry. I'm sure you can do it correctly. Take your time. Sumit Kumar Prasad and Samarpan De. इतनी जल्दी क्या है भाई? $25 left. 40% people not answered yet. Oh, oh, oh. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I started answering doubt on the phone. So I forgot. I had to stop. I'm really sorry for that. Answer is B, yes. Many of you got C, I see. Many of you got C, it seems. चलो करते हैं solve. What is the change in internal energy? Meaning delta U is asked. When a gas contracts from 377 to 177. ये क्वेश्चन देखा हुआ सा क्यों लग रहा है? -200 ml, which can be written as -0.2 liter. Under a constant pressure of 1520 torr. मतलब P external is constant and it is 2 atmospheres. Right? सो पी एक्सटर्नल इज कांस्टेंट, सो वर्क डन डायरेक्टली निकल जाएगा माइनस पी एक्सटर्नल इंटू डेल्टा वी, right? But the value comes out to be in what units? The value comes out to be in liter atmosphere. So it has to be multiplied by 101.325. Then it comes in joules. Are you with me? If I'm making any mistake, please point it out. So this will come out to be roughly 40 joules. Roughly 40 joules. Minus minus gets cancelled. While at the same time being cooled by removing 124 joule heat. Removal of heat matlab exothermic, so minus 124. So delta U will be Q plus W minus 124 plus 40, that is minus 84. Those who got minus 164, is it now understood? You probably forgot the minus in point 2. You probably wrote delta V as 200. है ना? Always write everything with sign and units. Did you notice I wrote here clearly ml? I wrote here atmosphere, I wrote here joules, because I know I will make mistake in units if I don't write them later. I will forget this. I will probably forget kilojoule to joule. So always write every number with sign and unit in this chapter. You will not go wrong easily. How 101 we discussed in the previous class, that 1 atmosphere liter is 101.325 or 1 bar liter is 100 joules. Read this question. It is slightly complicated. I don't expect you to solve it. Read this, but हाँ वही कैच है क्वेश्चन में. So there is a liquid of 1 liter volume initially, whose volume finally becomes 0.99 liter, and pressure is initially 1 bar, and pressure finally becomes 1001 bar. He is asking calculate delta, and it is under adiabatic conditions. Adiabatic condition means what? Q is 0. So then he's asking calculate delta H and calculate delta E or delta U. Because it is adiabatic conditions, can I say delta E will be directly equal to work done? Work done can be said as integral minus P dV. Now do you notice the meaning of the last line? Now can somebody see how do I use this? I have to get rid of pressure, right? If I want to integrate. I have to get rid of pressure if I want to integrate, isn't it? So now I will have to write equation of straight line of pressure versus volume. You guys are wrong when you say P equal to XV. Why are you considering zero intercept? दिया है क्या क्वेश्चन में? नहीं ना. So I will rather write it as general form. Have you seen this equation of a straight line? चलो मैं बता देता हूँ, कोई बात नहीं. Basically, it is the equation of a straight line whose 2 points are known to you, x1, y1 and x2, y2. So you can write the equation of a straight line like this if you know the 2 points, any 2 points on a line. Y minus y1 upon x minus x1 equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Now, सॉल्विंग इसका आपको बाद में घर पे करना है. भैया, what are y and x? Y is y-axis coordinate, X is x-axis coordinate. Come on. Now, can I say that, do you see that you can use this equation and this given data to find P versus V? P1 V1, P2 V2, that is Y1 X1, Y2 X2. So that will give me P versus V. So from here I get P equal to mx plus c, suppose a straight line equation. mv plus c, mx nahi. So what will be your next step, sir? Then I will substitute in this integral, and then I will integrate with the limits v1 to v2. Integral will come out what? Integral will come mv square by 2 plus constant into v. And इस पे लिमिट लगेगा v1 to v2. Upper limit minus lower limit will give me the value for work done. Work done will give me the value for delta E. Are you with me? लंबा problem है, no doubt about it. But it is not very complicated to understand. I'll repeat the entire thing. I'll repeat the entire thing. This is the given set of data, and I also know it is a liquid. So PV equal to nRT went out of the window. I know this data. I know this Q is 0. I don't know delta H. I don't know delta U. But what I know is work done is minus integral P dV. But the problem is this integral can only be solved when pressure can be replaced by volume. अरे x को इंटीग्रेट करोगे ना dx के रिस्पेक्ट में, y को थोड़ी. So what do I do? From the given data and the last line, linear variation of volume with pressure, I create a straight line equation in pressure and volume. M is the slope of this equation. C is the intercept of this equation. कितनी बार बताना पड़ेगा ये point? If it is written as y equal to mx plus c, m is the slope, c is the intercept. How will you get the value of m and c? When you will substitute in this equation y के बदले p, x के बदले v, y1 के बदले p1, इसके बदले x v1, and so on, you will get this form. You will get this format. So the number associated with v will be m, and the number associated alag se will be c. You substitute the pressure formula here, you integrate, you get the work done. Can I say that delta H and delta E will be the same value? How can I say that? Or why can I say that? I cannot say that. I cannot say that because because you cannot say that, sir, delta Ng is 0. Those who said yes, they said because delta Ng was 0, isn't it? अरे रिएक्शन ही नहीं हो रहा पगले. If there is no reaction, there is no delta Ng. If there is no reaction, there is no delta Ng, isn't it? So you will have to write delta of PV. And delta of PV means what? P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So I can substitute the value and find the answer. Another way to get the work done was by area under the graph. You could have also done this. Sir, this is much simpler. Yes, agreed. But this method needs to be understood. How to develop work done using given straight line data. Chalo, solve this. I'll give you again 2 minutes for the same. quick, 20 seconds remaining, 40% not answered. कोई बात नहीं, वैसे भी बहुत ज्यादा लोगों ने सही आंसर नहीं किया है. Assuming that water vapor is an ideal gas, the internal energy change when 1 mole of a water vapor of a water is vaporized. So let me write down the reaction. This reaction is happening for 1 mole at 1 bar pressure, 100 degrees Celsius. Now, what is he given to you? He has given you molar enthalpy of vaporization. Matlab, he has given you the value of delta H. He is asking you delta U. Delta H equal to delta U plus delta NGRT. What will be the value of delta NG? That will be 1. What will be the value of R? Question mein diya 8.3. What will be temperature? 373. So all you had to do was plug in and calculate. Still, very few of you got the right answer. Not done, guys. There is a shortcut also if you want to avoid all calculation, but you have to be smart enough to be able to do it correctly. डेल्टा एच का वैल्यू आया है 41 किलो जूल. ओके, एंड दिस इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा यू प्लस डेल्टा एन जी आर टी. नाउ डेल्टा एन जी इज 1 - 1. ठीक है, डज नॉट मैटर. इट इज 1 बेसिकली. इट इज 1. T is 373 and R is 8.3. It is understood that even if I multiply this two number together, I will not get a number as big as this. Yes or no? क्योंकि 1000 से divide भी तो करना है. I have to divide by 1000 also. So 8.314 gets multiplied by zero point 0.3 basically, isn't it? So 8.314 gets multiplied by zero point 0.3. So I get roughly 2.4 or 2.5. Good job. I'll get roughly 2.4 or 2.5. So answer has to be close to 41. Answer has to be close to 41. Only option D. Is it understood? But please don't try to use these jugards always. When it becomes obvious to you, then you use it. Chalo, let's continue. Heat and heat capacity. Now, generally speaking, using first law of thermodynamics, you would have noticed that sir delta U का तो universal formula है हमारे पास. F by 2 N R delta T. Work done ka we developed formulae for various processes in the previous class. Reversible, isothermal, isobaric, isochoric, as well as irreversible. We have not yet developed for reversible adiabatic. But sir, we did not develop any formula for heat till now. Q equal to mc delta T to bada random sa formula hai. It can only be used when too much data is available to you. Mass of the system is known, temperature change of the system is known, heat capacity is known. Instead, it would be much easier to use first law and find heat value from first law. Delta U अच्छे खासे formulae, work done अच्छे खासे formulae, तो Q we can find from first law, isn't it? Based on that, now I define heat capacity. ये points मैं आपसे already discuss कर चुका हूँ. Heat capacity is the heat required to raise the temperature of a given substance by delta T. Now, this is written in integral. This is written in for large changes. If I write it for small changes, I can write it like this. That means I can write it like this. That means I can integrate it like this. So if C is not a function of temperature, it will come out of the integral. and it will convert into like this. When can we do that? When can we do that from year to year? If Ct is not a function of temperature. Generally speaking, in 90% of the problems that you encounter, Ct will not be a function of temperature. Question में एक value दिया होगा. They'll give you a value in the question. But in certain questions where they want you to do extra mehnat, Ct will be given as a polynomial in temperature. If Ct is given as a polynomial in temperature, can I directly write it like this? No, I cannot. I will have to write it with dt and integrate it properly from T1 to T2 to get the final answer. Who is an extensive property? Who is a path function? He's talking about C being an extensive property and C being a path function. How is C a path function? How is C a path function? अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हमने पढ़ा था that heat exchanged in a constant volume process is called delta U and heat exchanged in a constant pressure process is called delta H, and delta H and delta U are generally not equal. They have a delta PV formula in them. That means heat depends on whether the process was that means heat depends on whether the process was isobaric or isochoric. Hence, C will also depend on whether it was isochoric or whether isobaric. Hence, they are saying C is a path function. Exactly, Anesh. उसी को मैं elaborate कर रहा था. Why is temperature not given in Kelvin? Can anybody answer Palak's doubt in less than 2 lines? Why is temperature not taken in Kelvin? Exactly, it is delta T. Delta T is same for Celsius and Kelvin. Will Fahrenheit also be the same? Will delta Fahrenheit also be the same? No, definitely not. 9 by 5 का factor आएगा या 5 by 9 का factor आएगा. Depends on how you look at it. This is also what we have already cleared with you, already discussed with you. Q equal to C into delta T. याद आया? ये रहा. Q equal to C into delta T. तो C becomes joule per Kelvin or joule per degree Celsius. Now, heat capacities can be written in two ways. If I'm writing my equation in terms of number of moles, I will call it molar heat capacity. If I write it in terms of mass, I will call it specific heat capacity. डिफरेंस क्या है सर दोनों में? नथिंग. एक में मास यूज किया, एक में मोल्स यूज किया है. केमिस्ट्री वाले मोल्स में ज्यादा प्ले करना पसंद करते हैं, फिजिक्स वाले मास में ज्यादा प्ले करना पसंद करते हैं. So in physics, you will commonly use Q equal to mc delta T, mcs delta T, and for what do you call chemistry, you will commonly use Q equal to nc delta T. Is this clear? Obviously, I can relate Cm and Cs. I can relate molar heat capacity and specific heat capacity by these two formulae that are given to me. Now, can I say that, sir, Cm can also be at constant volume? Cm can also be for a process which is QV or QP. Similarly, Cs can also be for a process which is Cs can also be for a process which is constant pressure or constant volume, isn't it? The mass here is actual mass, not the molar mass. The mass here is actual mass of the system. So therefore, do you agree that this Cp and Cv can be defined? Therefore, Cp would mean, as I said, chemistry wale talk about molar heat capacity only. So Cp would be molar heat capacity, but defined at constant pressure. Cv would be molar heat capacity, but defined at constant volume. Is this understood? So, so I am first covering all the theory, then I'll come back to problem solving. And therefore, I will have this equation and I will have this equation. Please check. The moment I use this equation with the first two and obviously some mathematics, I will land up with this. Solve and check and confirm on the poll. You write this equation, you substitute PV के बदले R delta T. Then you plug these equations also in delta H and delta U. Delta T gets cancelled everywhere. So you get Cp minus Cv is R. एक्सट्रीम तो इज्जत बचा लो, थोड़ा टेलीग्राम पे पूछ लेना. बता दूंगा जरूर. 63 online, 37 said yes, and the number has stopped. Chalo. No, no, it's okay. You can ask after the class. Previous slide, last line, please. This was your previous slide. CP and CV are intensive but not path function क्योंकि वो already एक एक path के लिए define हो गए ना. CP means heat capacity which was calculated already at constant pressure. CV means heat capacity which was already calculated at constant volume. So no more path can be defined for them. Sir, sir, does it mean that does it mean that this formula is valid only for isochoric process? No. Let me write it here very clearly. It does not mean applicable to isocore only. No, this is not true. Why is it not true? Delta U ka this is now universal formula. Delta H ka this is now universal formula. But sir, last lecture में आपने universal formula कुछ और बोला था. Hold on to your horses, I will relate it. Delta U ka this is now your universal formula. Delta H ka this is now your universal formula. But sir, how? CV means heat capacity at constant pressure. No, it does not. Cp means heat capacity calculated at constant pressure. That means for the substance, when I calculated the heat capacity, I used a constant pressure process or I used a constant volume process when I was conducting an experiment to calculate the heat capacity of that body. Is the point understood? Cp or Cv does not mean that heat capacity Cp should be used for constant pressure process. Heat capacity Cv should be used for constant volume process. No. It basically means that heat capacity C was calculated for that body using a constant pressure process. Clear? Sir, अब बता दो. Last class में you said universal formula for delta U is different. Array, no, I did not. Basically, this is your uh, F by 2R. This is your CV, and this is your CP. This is what I'm saying, Ashish. That is not the case. CP just means a heat capacity value which was calculated for the body by following a constant pressure process. It does not mean that it will change with pressures. CPO chai CVO, they are generally functions of temperature. In majority questions, you'll get them constant rather. Please go through this slide. Please go through this slide and then click on the poll. Fast, please. Losing daylight. Yes, gamma is a constant called Poisson's ratio. Can I say gamma will depend upon whether the gas is monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic? अभी अभी थोड़ी देर पहले CP and CV got defined in terms of degree of freedom, and degree of freedom depends on whether the gas is mono, di or tri. 60 online, 30 have marked yes. I'm guessing rest don't bother, so I'm moving ahead. If there is any doubt, please ask in any step here. First equation. What happened to the first equation? अरे पेन कहाँ गया? Here. Q equal to number of moles into Cp into delta T. If I write it as Qp, right? So Cp becomes what? Q by delta T. वही तो लिखा है. At P here means at constant pressure. At constant pressure, Qp can be written as delta H. Sir, differential second one. So instead of Q, if there is a small change, I write it as dq. याद है? Instead of large change delta t, I can write it as dt. Clear now, Divakar? Mrityunjay, you asked three. Number of moles is considered as one. N is immaterial. चलता है. भावनाओं को समझो. So what do you need to mug? You need to mug this table. Monoatomic में degree of freedom was 3, तो CV is 3R by 2, CP is 5R by 2, तो gamma is 5 by 3. Then 5R by 2, 7R by 2, तो 7 by 5. Then next linear but polyatomic, which is same as diatomic. So again 5 and 7. Non-linear but polyatomic, so then it becomes 6. Q, delta Q कहाँ लिखा है? Where did you see Adeep delta Q? What does DQ mean? What does DQ mean? Can anybody help him? स्मॉल चेंज. स्मॉल चेंज इन हीट. हीट में चेंज होता है. नहीं मिला सुबह से. स्मॉल हीट itself. Small value of heat itself, not small change in heat. We don't define change in heat. It's a path function. Like dw does not mean small change in work, it means small work. So dq, it means small heat, not small change in heat. मैंने भी बोल दिया होगा तो गलती से ही बोला होगा. इट मीन स्मॉल हीट, नॉट स्मॉल चेंज इन हीट. सर ये टेबल को याद कैसे रखना है? हाउ डू आई रिमेंबर दिस टेबल? यू जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस एंड दिस, and obviously the formulae. So you don't have to mug the entire table. Do you need to mug gamma values? Absolutely not. It is Cp by Cv ka ratio. You can find instantly. Now, as I said, if I have to calculate delta H from Cp, I might have to integrate if Cp is a function of temperature. If Cv is a function of temperature, again I have to sit and integrate. Is this much understood? Just give me 3 more minutes and your class will be done. So now, चलो ये एडियाबैटिक का फिर नेक्स्ट क्लास में ही बात करेंगे. देर आर क्वेश्चंस इन द स्लाइड्स. I need you to solve those questions. If you're not able to solve them, you will ask me doubt on the Telegram by sending me a pic of the slide on my personal ID. Wait, you are not done. Homework for the next class. There are lots of solved examples given in Tattva. I would strongly recommend you solve them. If you are not bothered to solve those solved examples, at least complete questions till 35 exercise 1. You can skip those that you think कि नहीं पढ़ा है अभी तक sir ने perhaps, and others you can solve. Exercise 1, question 30 till question number 35. I'm mentioning it on the last slide of the class, on the thank you slide. Homework exercise 1, question 1 to 35. Please make sure you have solved it. Nahi to if you lag in thermodynamics, you'll never be able to recover. Okay. With this, we end today's class, guys. I hope you understood the class. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Good night. Take care and stay negative. No, it is not okay. Tattva is to be solved first. Madhusmita, I'll send you on your Telegram ID.